1. Jorge Martin confirmed to stay with Aprilia for 2026 MotoGP contract update. 2. 10 insights from Jorge Martin on his Aprilia decision. 3. Jorge Martin, no regrets after Aprilia contract saga. 1. Jorge Martin confirmed to stay with Aprilia for 2026 MotoGP contract update. Breaking news: Martin's future with Aprilia secured for 2026. In a stunning turn of events, Jorge Martin, Aprilia Racing, the reigning world champion, has officially announced his commitment to stay with Aprilia Racing for the upcoming 2026 season. This confirmation comes amidst swirling rumors and speculation, putting an end to the uncertainty surrounding his future in the sport. During a recent press conference held at the iconic Brno circuit, Martin addressed the media, stating, "I'm thrilled to be back in action this weekend, especially after enduring such a challenging period due to multiple injuries. It's been a tough 6 to 7 months, but I'm elated to announce my continuation with Aprilia for 2026. This announcement follows Martin's earlier declaration on social media regarding his intention to exercise a clause allowing him to depart at the end of the current season. However, Aprilia swiftly countered with a statement affirming his contractual obligations for 2026. Now, with the dust settled, fans can breathe a sigh of relief knowing Martin will remain with the team. But here's where it gets controversial. Some critics argue that Martin's decision to stay might not be the best move for his career, given his injury-ridden season. Others believe it's a strategic choice that will pay off in the long run. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned for more updates as Martin opens up about his arduous journey this year and his readiness to return to the track, fully fit and raring to race. And this is the part most people miss. Amidst the excitement, Martin's resilience and determination are truly commendable. His unwavering commitment to the sport serves as an inspiration to aspiring racers worldwide. 2. 10 insights from Jorge Martin on his Aprilia decision. #10 insights from Jorge Martin on his Aprilia situation. **** In a surprising turn of events, reigning MotoGP champion Jorge Martin has decided to remain with Aprilia for the 2026 season, declaring that this chapter is now closed, though he acknowledges there are still issues to mend. Martin made this announcement during a specially organized press conference on Thursday, where he had the spotlight all to himself, just before he was set to return to MotoGP at the Czech Grand Prix in Brno. He engaged with the media for over 20 minutes, providing detailed responses that emphasized his commitment to unity with Aprilia, while also justifying the choices he had made in the past. Following this, he spent additional time addressing questions from the press in the Aprilia hospitality area. Here are the key takeaways from Martin's candid and memorable press conference. #The impact of his injuries. Initially, it was known that Martin had sustained severe injuries when he collided with Fabio Di Giannantonio during the Qatar Grand Prix, resulting in a punctured lung and multiple fractures to his ribs. However, the gravity of his condition may have been understated. Martin revealed that he spent 4 days in intensive care in Doha before he could even consider returning home on a specially arranged low-altitude medical flight. He candidly shared his fears during this time, stating, "You are never prepared to be close to dying," and expressed concerns about whether he would ever ride again, let alone race this season. This harrowing experience undoubtedly shaped his perspective moving forward. "I was really in a really bad situation," he admitted, visibly emotional. "Only my dad and my girlfriend truly understand what I was going through." #The wrong timing. Beyond his time in the ICU, Martin faced the challenge of being sidelined for months due to not 1, but 3 significant injuries. During this period, he watched his competitors continue to race while he had a contractual clause that he could activate within a limited time frame. "I want to explain everything that happened," he began, emphasizing the importance of transparency. "After each injury, I began to doubt not just my future, but myself and many other aspects of my life. I had to decide whether to race a few more times with Aprilia or activate the clause we all know about." He fought for what he believed was best for himself, considering a move to another project. "We started this fight, and while I could have continued, sometimes in life, tough decisions must be made. Now, I've chosen to stay with Aprilia for another season." Bezzecchi's performance influenced his decision. While Martin didn't explicitly dwell on this topic during the press conference, he hinted at the significant role that his teammate Marco Bezzecchi's recent performance played in his decision to stay with Aprilia. Bezzecchi's impressive results on the Aprilia RSGP, which has been the only bike to consistently challenge Ducati this season, certainly caught Martin's attention. "We could see that Marco and Aprilia are doing a fantastic job," Martin acknowledged. "I'm not oblivious. I recognize that we have tremendous potential together." Acknowledging past conflicts. Despite his desire to move forward, Martin was honest about the fact that both parties cannot simply erase the past and start fresh. "I think a relationship is like a roller coaster," he remarked when asked if they could rekindle their bond. "You have your ups and downs, but if you care for each other, you'll work hard to stay together and achieve your goals." He recognized that they had indeed experienced a significant conflict, stating, "I can't pretend that nothing happened. We had a big fight with Aprilia. But now is the time to rebuild together. We both want to win in the future, and I believe we can rekindle that connection." Martin also noted that there is still some tension in the paddock, and it's not as if everything is perfect. His goal is to foster a genuine family atmosphere within the Aprilia team. If the conflict had been more intense, it would have been much harder to return to work as if nothing had happened. "I feel that both Aprilia and I have been honest with each other since day one. We acknowledge what transpired and have worked hard to reconcile. No regrets." Martin was clear in his stance that he did not act wrongly towards Aprilia or pursue anything other than what he believed was in his best interest. "I don't regret anything," he asserted. "Everything I did in these past months was what I thought was best for my future." He also felt no need to apologize. "I didn't apologize because I don't believe I owe anyone an apology. I acted in what I thought was best for my career. Now, we are together, and we will communicate openly. If they feel I need to do something to improve our relationship, I'm willing to do it." Understanding fan reactions. When discussing the backlash from fans regarding his attempt to switch teams, Martin maintained a similar perspective. "Fans are incredibly important. They are the lifeblood of our sport. Without them, we couldn't continue racing." He expressed understanding for their opinions, but reiterated, "I did what I believed was best for my life and future. I hope some fans will come back to support me, but I'm focused on my team and family to stay strong." The role of the Aprilia All-Stars event. Martin credited the positive reception he received at the Aprilia All-Stars Misano event as a pivotal moment in his decision-making process. "It was impressive. At that time, I was in the midst of a dispute with Aprilia, and I was genuinely scared, thinking I might need security. But the crowd's support was overwhelming. It was crucial for my decision to remain with Aprilia." Speculations about the future. In the wake of Martin's announcement, many have speculated whether Aprilia's efforts to retain him have merely delayed an inevitable split until 2027. During the press conference, Martin's demeanor suggested he was not entirely thrilled, which could be attributed to the pressure of facing public scrutiny alone. "I'm super enthusiastic," he insisted when questioned about his apparent lack of excitement. "I enjoy being in the paddock, but it's strange to be here alone on stage." However, his response to a question about gratitude towards Aprilia provided insight into his future outlook. "I appreciate all the work they've done. If we win together in the future, I'll be grateful to Massimo for everything he did to keep me here. We both needed to give each other another chance, and we did." Acknowledging Marquez's advice. When asked who provided him with the best advice during his recovery, Martin mentioned six-time champion Marc Marquez. "Many people reached out to me, and Marc was one of them. I valued his message, which was to avoid making decisions while injured. Looking back, I realize this was perhaps the best advice I could have received." The intrigue of other options. Honda has been widely recognized as a primary alternative for Martin's services in 2026, having shown significant interest in him. However, Martin clarified, Honda was an option, but it wasn't the only one. "I must emphasize that." While he didn't elaborate, the list of teams with official vacancies for 2026 is limited. Besides factory Honda, there was Pramac Yamaha and LCR Honda, both of which seemed less viable options for him. If Martin's statement holds true, it suggests that another team may have pursued him at the expense of a currently contracted rider, but it may take time before the details of that situation emerge. 3. Jorge Martin, no regrets after Aprilia contract saga. Jorge Martin, the reigning MotoGP world champion, boldly stated that he has no regrets regarding his recent contractual disputes with Aprilia, a saga that has now come to a close. After signing a 2-year contract with Aprilia for the 2025 season, Martin expressed his intention in May to activate a clause that would allow him to exit the team at the end of the current season. This clause stipulated that if he was not in contention for the championship after the 6th round at Le Mans, he could leave. Given that Martin has only participated in one Grand Prix this year due to a series of injuries, defending his title has become nearly impossible. This situation unfolded over several months, but it was finally confirmed at the recent German Grand Prix that Martin would remain with Aprilia, thanks to the intervention of Dorna, the series organizer. While some may argue that Martin's reputation has suffered as a result of this ordeal, he remains steadfast in his belief that he has made the right choices. Ahead of his return to MotoGP at the upcoming Czech Grand Prix, Martin reiterated, "I don't regret anything." He elaborated, "Everything I did during these past few months was what I believed was best for my future and my career." His only race this year took place in Qatar, where he unfortunately crashed, resulting in multiple fractured ribs and a pneumothorax. Martin shared a poignant insight into his struggles, stating, "Nobody can truly understand what it's like to be in a hospital with 12 broken ribs, unable to sleep for an entire week. No one can grasp the thoughts that were racing through my mind during that time." Expressing his relief, he added, "I'm genuinely happy to be back here. The last 6 or 7 months have been incredibly challenging due to my injuries, but now I'm thrilled to return to MotoGP and to confirm that I will continue with Aprilia through 2026. Reaffirming his stance on the lack of regret, Martin made it clear that he feels he has done nothing wrong, despite the tensions that arose between him and the Italian manufacturer. "When you come back to the paddock after being away, you can definitely sense some tension in the air," he acknowledged. He emphasized the importance of communication between a rider and their team, stating, "If there's an issue, they should feel free to discuss it with me, and I should feel free to voice any concerns I have as well." Interestingly, Martin mentioned that he did not feel the need to apologize to Aprilia, asserting, "I did what I believed was best for my career, and now we are working together." If they think I need to do something to enhance our relationship, I'm open to it. It's crucial for me to have a supportive family within the paddock, and I'm committed to fostering that environment as we prepare for what lies ahead. Had Martin successfully left Aprilia in 2025, it is believed that the factory Honda team would have been his most likely destination. However, he clarified, Honda was one option, but it wasn't the only one. Relationships can be quite complex, much like a rollercoaster ride. You may fall in love, face some conflicts, but if you truly care for each other, you'll work hard to stay together and achieve your goals. This is where we stand now. I can't say what exactly transpired, but we did have a significant disagreement with Aprilia. Now, it's time to rebuild our partnership because we both want to succeed together in the future. It's entirely possible to rekindle that connection, so to speak.